exchange program on this river. Okay, she's normally the Director of Nursing for Byrne Multi-Purpose Health Service, mother to two gorgeous boys, Nate and Jules, and a background in emergency and critical care nursing, and absolutely mad passionate for rural remote nursing. So we love you to bits too, and welcome Amy.
Thank you. It's what a privilege it is to be here amongst you all and this group of people. It's certainly been an eye-opening experience for me so far, and I'm just really thrilled to be here. So thank you for having me. I just wanted to start with a story. 2 years ago, I was an emergency nurse working in a metropolitan hospital when I got it in my head to try this rural and remote business. Back on the Metro Coast, I was supported by a team of senior nurses, an array of allied health staff, doctors, you name it, we had an abundance of services and the latest in technology. Within 2 months of making the decision to go rural and remote, I found myself in a small level 2 facility in the bush. I was in charge of an ED ward, an acute ward, aged care sections, and I needed to support a medical practice, the QAS and the community health sectors. It was only me and one EN. Staffing was a bare minimum, resources were finite. In fact, this facility didn't even have a blood scanner. I won't pretend that it was exactly.
No, we have not.
And it is quite the norm across the world. I won't pretend that this wasn't a shock to the system. I mean, but I found my passion. So what did I do? I got back to basics with a thorough nursing assessment, and I used my hands and I trusted my gut, and I really learned to trust myself. I built partnerships with QAS, telehealth technology and TEMSU services, and I've nursed my community within and outside of the hospital, and now I lead a team to provide for that community. This is full scope of practice nursing, as Dr. Felix was saying. I've gained so much from both of these roles and believe that they complement one another beautifully. Rural and remote and metropolitan nurses and midwives have so much to offer one another. And today, I'm proud to announce that this opportunity is soon to be a reality for Queensland health nurses and midwives. Just a small disclaimer before I start that some of the information in here is not finalised, so things may change as this program evolves. So the Nursing and Midwifery Exchange Program is essentially that, an exchange program for nurses and midwives. This is an opportunity that facilitates professional exchange for around about a 12-week placement for our nurses and midwives. It's an exciting new initiative for our workforce to push those professional boundaries and to seek those new opportunities. Particularly what Diane was talking about, I think really resonates with this program. This is something new and different for our workforce. We believe that our nursing and midwifery workforce will gain so much from this program, so it's hard to limit what we will gain within a few short slides, but let's talk about some of the aims of the program. So it's very much about professional development and upskilling of our nurses, the networking across Queensland health facilities. It still strikes me how much we are still in the silo effect within Queensland health. And in fact, this is very much about the cross-pollination of nurses and midwives throughout Queensland health, the cross-pollination of skills. It exposes metropolitan and regional nurses to the midwifery and midwives to the rural and remote nursing lifestyle and country lifestyle, and of course, vice versa. And we're looking at fostering leadership and mentoring. So why do a program like this? You know, I think Diana kind of snapped this quite well in the lead up to this. So we recognise that a skilled and productive workforce means safer patient outcomes. And we need those skills in our high-risk areas, one particularly being rural and remote areas. Recruitment and retention remains a significant risk for us, and you know, I think recruitment and retention across many Queensland health facilities is still an issue, but you know, the rural and remote ones, you know, we struggle at times. And of course, aligning with our strategic plan, we hope that this is a way seen as an employer of choice by recognising our nurses and midwives and unleashing their potential, and of course facilitating leadership and professional growth. So how does this program work? Candidates express interest via the program coordinator, who at the moment is me. Participants are required to detail their professional goals and how they believe this experience will improve their practice and their current practice, and of course how they'll take these skills back to their facility. So for example, I work in Byrne MPHS, and this nurse here works at the Royal in an emergency department, let's say. And we both express interest because we'd like some professional upskilling, and this is what we'd like to do. We're matched based on our skills mix, but also our identified areas of interest, and we'll swap. So I will go and do your job, and you will come and do mine. And we're sort of working on around a 12-week model at this stage, but again, subject to change. What does this give us the opportunity to do? We can network through obviously knowing what's out there, and of course knowing other Queensland health facilities. We can network through the use of telehealth services. And we also get a candidate workbook where we're able to reflect on our experience and sort of record the journey that is this exchange. I think the brilliant thing about a program like this is that it doesn't stop at 12 weeks. Diane, you sort of touched on this. It's about that sustainability in the workforce, and it's about that ongoing commitment and engagement of the staff. So facilities welcome back nurses and midwives who have had some fresh ideas and perspectives. They're seeing what other facilities are doing, how they're doing this, how are you doing your quality. We're able to take those skills and network across so that we're able to have better input from our staff of how other facilities are doing it. So unifying offers Queensland Health. Actually, I don't really want to talk about this slide because it's probably a little bit too premature, so I'm just going to move on from that one. But what I will say is that your buy-in on this and that your continued support, I think, will be the main drivers for it. So moving forward, what we're doing is we're just at the stage where we're sort of collating our data and getting some robust and defined guidelines up and out there. And I do actually have some forms today, so if anybody has some feedback for me in terms of what you think may stop you from applying for a program like this, please come and see me and let me know, because your interest and your information will be highly beneficial to this. Next, so what will metropolitan candidates gain? How many are metro here in the audience? And does that include regional, if you're a regional nurse? Great. Okay. So what do you think that you would gain from going rural and remote? And firsthand, the answer is a lot. The list is many, but that first-hand understanding of Indigenous health and primary health care, the chance to trial rural and remote health with the stability of a substantive position, so not having to give up before you try this. Facility-wide quality and safety issues. One thing for my experience was that there was somebody allocated to quality and safety in my big facility, and when you go out to the rural and remote, you are there, you get the data, you do the audits, you find out, you make the action plans, so you find ways that you can improve your facility on a ground level. You get to work alongside some pretty cool people, so RFDS, QCC, RSQ, and get that continuity of care from your clients. There's nothing quite like nursing your community within the hospital, outside the hospital, and then welcoming them back once they've been away. What I really hope is that this will be a unique and highly rewarding experience to ignite that passion in nursing and midwifery, like it has been for me. Any rural or remote nurses or midwives in the audience? Good numbers, good. So what do you think that you would gain from trying, what do you think that you would gain from working in a metropolitan facility for 12 weeks? So leadership potential through working with big teams, the professional experience within that metropolitan setting, specialty streams, emergency, paediatric, cardiacs, theatres, you name it, we can do it. A thorough understanding of the complexity of metropolitan nursing and those competing priorities, and a chance to work firsthand in teams and experience those multidisciplinary teams. One thing I think for my staff that I think will be a major benefit is seeing the other side of it. Rural and remote is very much about resuscitation, stabilisation and retrieval. And so the other side of that is what happens when the program, this is exciting for you guys. So the program is currently supported by the Office of the Chief Nurse, and we thank them so much for, and personally so much for them recognising that this is potentially a strategy to help nurses and midwives to, a way of recognising them and a way of fostering leadership and developments, within our facilities, and they are small facilities out rural, because it networks us with you guys, and that I think is such an untapped resource. The original concept was born in the Southwest, so we are currently the sponsors of the program, and that includes a full-time statewide coordinator and a part-time admin role. And for you guys, excitingly, it is a funded program, so along with your normal wages and allowances, the candidates are eligible, if you're successfully selected to go on this program, for travel accommodation and allowances of up to $5,000 per candidate. Mentoring, I think, is a really, really great relationship that we can have for our nurses and midwives. We know that mentoring programs have been successful in recruitment and retention strategies in the past, and we hope that this is something that we can build into this program. So while mentoring isn't the fundamental outcome of NMET, it is a partnership that we think will, again, create that input for not only the 12-week program, but for continued buy-in for your staff and for the nurses and midwives. So partnering with the AQNL, who are here today, they have a wonderful mentoring toolkit, so we are providing those tools to the nurses and midwives who go on exchange. So it's more bang for your buck, it's more continued buy-in, because we then hope to create an alumni of nurses and midwives who have gone on the program that then are able to support people within their facility, but of course people who are then going to go on the program themselves. So again, continued buy-in, more bang for your buck. It doesn't just stop at 12 weeks. This is about networking and enriching the nurses and midwives. My contact details, and I'm here today if anybody has any questions or is interested. Questions?
Do we have any questions? That is an absolute ripper of a program. Yes? Penny's coming to you.
My daughter's currently second year nurse at USQ and has already expressed an interest in doing some rural nursing. Would she potentially be a candidate, or should she be more experienced before she?
Look, we're still finalising the guidelines of the program, but we sort of had hoped that people would have at least 1 year of experience to be able to express interest. I think that that's because, we want people to be able to get the most out of their graduate years, and then, something for our sort of more senior nurses to be able to achieve as well. But it is open for registered nurses and midwives from grade 5 up at this stage.
But she did some bracket labelling as well and just loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think that that's, I love the work that's being done within universities at the moment, getting those students out there, because when I was doing my research for this project, the most compelling reason for anybody to go rural and remote is prior exposure to country life, whether it be working or just country life. So if we can get people out there, exposed to it, then absolutely. And it's an amazing, amazing workforce.
I also hope to see her retire in 5 years. And my husband would like to go travelling and doing some fishing. I'm a hemodialysis nurse, but I'd love to work my way around the coast and get some petrol money. Is there an opportunity for that? Hemodialysis nurse.
Nursing for a small facility, so if you're looking for a job, yeah, come see me. But, absolutely, I think that's, we very much want to be flexible with people's lives. So, we don't want to make a program that's unachievable for anybody to do. Absolutely. Get some rural and remote experience, and you just watch how employable you are.
Lovely. Thank you.
I've got a job up in Northwest.
I was going to say our rural remote executive directors of nursing and midwifery are well represented here today, and they know you now. They know you. You are marked. But I think it's great because as a group, I think that we need to think about this a little bit more. We want tree changes. We want people with really good skills and experience. You want to take off to a road trip? That sounds fantastic to me. And if on the way, instead of mango picking or whatever, you can be doing the job that you have spent your whole life doing, and you can do it in a new space, I think that'd be fantastic. So anybody that has that sort of itchy feeling that they want to go travelling and they want to go and do a tree change, I think we still want to hear about that, because
Di Morgan. I work on the Sunshine Coast currently, but I did 20 years out in the rural areas. What sort of consideration have you given to accommodation with staff coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. So accommodation is certainly on our risk register at the moment, and something that I think that I as the coordinator will certainly look towards. We're hoping to sort of take a cohort of people so that it's a little bit more manageable for the program coordinator to sort of have those one-on-one conversations with people. Some things that we've identified to try and help with that is, of course, the funding. To the statewide coordinator sitting as a central role to try and help that, those people through that. And I think also putting on the application form areas that you'd like to go. So if there is family and friends, say for example, I've got family in Brisbane, I may be able to identify Brisbane as being an area that I might be able to go. But again, great feedback, certainly on the risk register, that's something that we hope to, Look, in terms of rural and remote, I know for my facility, we actually have nurses' quarters available. So most rural and remote areas kind of have that. So it's just one identified risk, but great question. Yeah.
Or for the staff coming into the city.
I agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, we do have.
I've got the mic with a question. Hi, I'm Jo from Health Consumers Queensland. I'm so excited by this because when we go travelling, rural communities are so strong in wanting to retain their health services. So by coming up with an innovative program like this is great because I can see that it's going to lend support to rural communities and the health services that they need. And it'd be great if you could embed some partnering with consumers through all of this as well, because I think for those coming from urban areas out to those rural remote areas, working with community would be like a great lesson in terms of working with people who are absolutely wanting to keep their services. I know of a consumer who's gone to a local mining company to get some extra money to top up a doctor's wage to come in and provide them with services. So community is so integral and so valued in those places that it would be great for nurses and midwives to get a taste of that while they're out and about.
Thank you.
We have one more question. Lady up here. You've got people going.
I know. Yes, this is great. I am here all day, so please come see me. I do love a chat, so that's
Hi, I was just wondering what preparation are you doing with your metro clients to go rural? And there's a whole different skill set required rural, and the ones that are travelling around that have got the experience, that's great. But a junior person or somebody who's just had experience on like a hospital or very specialised within a metro area, you go and put them out there and give them a P, give them an older acute patient, a post-surgical patient, a sepsis patient, that to deal with on a daily basis, farming accidents and things like this. So I think there needs to be something to prep them. Plus a huge thing which you need to take into consideration is the culture. You go into certain Indigenous areas without the proper cultural preparation, you can easily insult and incite problems. And when you're talking about one or two people being the sole workforce in a rural facility, I think we need to set people up to achieve and to fail.
absolutely.
With a rural person coming into metro, it's great. You've got this big support team.
Sure.
But in the country,
Yeah, absolutely.
you've got each other, or you've got someone on their group absolutely relevant. So it's
So I know, absolutely. So it's an excellent question, and certainly a huge thing that has been identified to me.
I'm happy to support that. Absolutely, the points that you raise are to the forefront of our mind. We don't want to break or injure our nurses and midwives that want to venture out and see what it is actually like to work in rural generalist models. Diana and the team's been doing quite a lot of work with the Rural Remote Network, identifying longer-term programs. The programs that we're looking at putting in Ochno will build upon each other to actually give a really good foundation and structure to actually support the future of our nurses. The next presentation, I think, will highlight some other avenues that will support those nurses and midwives going to that area. The other thing that we're working on within our office, and it might be a little bit early to announce, but it's we're going to call it the SWIM program. strength with immersion model. And it's based on the work that we've done previously in perioperative services, where you bring a nurse or an early career nurse midwife within that environment, immerse them with a lot of support, short-term gain, but to take them in their areas with at least some foundations of what it is like to socialise and to work within those environments, but also to develop strength with the network back in some of the larger regional and or tertiary facilities down here to actually support them. We're looking at that in midwifery, in general rural remote specialty, also continuing on with perioperative services and our emergency services. There was one other, wasn't there? But anyway, there's a focus on that. We do understand that we do need to support. It's an unfamiliar environment for some, but for those who go and are exposed, tend to fall in love and stay. So another way that we can develop our future.
Yeah, and I think a large body of this work so far has been developed. Having a look at the clinical services capability framework of certain facilities. There is also the PARIT modules, which do have a lot of culturally sensitive education available to anyone now online. So those PARIT modules take you through the primary clinical care manual and the resources that we need in rural and remote. I just want to clarify that this workforce is just 2 on 1 shift. There is a larger workforce in these rural and remote facilities. Sometimes there are single nurse posts. That shouldn't deter you from going out there.
Thanks, Amy. And we've got all this. Let's keep going. Why not? Why not?
Hi, sorry to hold you up. My name is Lucy Scott. I'm the nurse educator at the Gold Coast University Hospital. Thank you for heading up such an exciting program. We're super excited. This is the first I've heard of it. And my question to you is, we're soon to have approximately 300 nurse headcount in our emergency department alone. I think probably 99% of those would be keen to do this program. Do you have enough nurses to swap out with, not all at the same time?
Do you have enough interest? So time will tell, and we will have a certain amount of number that we can take. I actually, these type of talks are quite strategic for us because the rural and remoters are chomping at the bit. They really want to do this. It is so great to hear that you think that your team would love to do this, because I guess I was a little concerned of the uptake from the Metro end, but I myself was a Metro nurse and sort of did this crazy thing. So no, I don't think I think that as long as we promote this heavily and that people like you can have that passion behind it, then no, absolutely, I think that we'll be able to take this and run with it.
Awesome, that sounds fabulous. And would you mind just going back to the slide previous so we can stalk your contact details?
Are we going to have all these slides available to folk? Yeah, okay. So it'll be on the Office of the Chief Nursing Midwifery Officer website at 9. Lindsay's saying something to me.
We'll make it available if it can't freeze on our website.
Oh, we've
That's
got
right,
that.
we're making it new one. Yeah. We'll make them
Just
available.
inundate Durham Hospital. We can handle it.
Okay, we're getting a new website, so that may not be the vehicle, but you know us. We've all got face purple shirts on, so we can get that PowerPoint out to you. We can put you in contact with any of the people who have spoken today, so we're happy to do it. But you put your hands together to thank